So I'm supposed to be editing right now, and I'm having a really hard time focusing on that because all I can do is think about this.
Shame. Shame.
It's bad. So, you know, this area is just kind of, I just been throwing things up there because I haven't finished organizing that section yet, where I edit, where sometimes when I work from home, where I sew. It's all in this corner of my bedroom. And so it has to be really organized. A, because I can't work in a mess because it's distracting. And B, I have to be able to find things easily. I have to eliminate as many obstacles as possible to getting work done because I will be distracted by other things. So I've been working on this setup. Gosh, what? Well, actually, this particular setup I've been working on since the beginning of the pandemic because I was working from home. So I had to find a way to set up a space that I could work from. So that's how this all started. And so I've been adding pieces and changing things around as I've gone. I think I've finally gotten to a place where I'm pretty happy with it, except for this one section over here. So in this section, because it hasn't ever been finished, I had like things that I hadn't figured out where to put them. Because they don't have a place to go, they just all kind of go there. And it's just an ugly mess and it's distracting. And also I can't get any sewing done because one of my sewing machines is under there. So it makes it adds just so many more obstacles to me getting anything done. So instead of editing this video about lining, I'm gonna give myself the opportunity, the gift of procrastination, just to get another little obstacle out of the way. So I'm gonna work on cleaning this up today. And I thought we could do it together. And then the next video that comes out will be the lining video because I'll be able to sit down and actually edit. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna clear this off and I'm gonna use my lovely desk as a place to put things to sort later. Let's go. One of the things that I have learned over time is that I need clear boxes and they need to be clearly labeled. Otherwise I just can't find things. And oftentimes they just cease to exist. So I'll go and buy more of them. And that's just a bad habit. That's just poor money management. So over the years, I've been, like I said, I've been working on this since the beginning of the pandemic. This particular section though, I'd actually had this designed in our old place where I had a whole dedicated sewing room. But when we moved here, I had to just use what I could in this room. It used to be that I had my dresser up against my sliding glass window. It wasn't very functional though. Also, we had to move the dresser because we got in trouble for blocking the door. So yeah, safety, you know. There are certain rules I have to follow, and one of them is I have to keep things so that I can actually see them. They have to be well labeled. Also, everything needs to be easy to get to. So although I have these four, these aren't too bad. I know there's 4 stacked here. This I can actually deal with, but usually if they're stacked, especially the heavier they are or the harder to get out they are, I won't put stuff away if they're in there. So I don't know what that. Oh, I was looking for this. I made this. Funny story. So I made this, and the very last step was I had to put it through the hinge, and it broke at the last step. Yeah, so I need to go back and fix it, and I haven't done that yet. Oh, see, this is where I get a little overwhelmed because it's a lot of little stuff. I tend to pile things because I don't feel like dealing with them in the moment. More stuff, more piles. All right, put this up here. And then I think then I'm gonna also do this. This is gonna feel a lot better to get rid of all this. This is just clothes. My drawer broke. Yay, IKEA. I love IKEA, but it's really good. It's really good for apartment dwellers because it's got a small footprint. But man, you know, you move it a couple times, it just starts falling apart. Eric's drawer has already fallen apart, and I went in and fixed that. So now I got to do the same to my drawer. So, but I am going to move the clothes out of here because that'll open up this space a lot more and it'll feel a lot better. So now we're able to get to the machine, so yay. Because I can stand here and sew And it's nice to be able to just start sewing instead of having to set up my other machine. I have it behind me, and that's the background when I film videos. Well, right now, so I have to put up this board because Storm loves to go after my spools of thread. They roll really well, I guess. She just has a blast with them. Not good for a cat to be playing with thread. So what I had to do is I just had this craft board. It's like a display board for like science fairs and all that. I just put that up there, and that seems to work pretty well. For now, I'm sure she'll figure a way around it someday. But normally I film with it behind me, so I have my machine put away that goes over there. So this is a good one to have here so I can just start sewing and I don't have to set it up. I'm more likely to start sewing that way. I might keep this over here as just sort of a, but am I gonna, bad idea, right? Because if I put that there, I'm gonna put stuff in it instead of putting it away. Okay, bad idea. All right. So these are fun. These are little spools, and they have my, so in the SCA, we all have persona names, and mine is Adelheid, and Adelheid Strazenkatze. And so, and I still give these out as tokens at events when I at arts events and stuff. Although I need to find something different for the next round. I think people probably have many of them at this point. I was working on my lining video, but I was wanting to have it out by the end of March, but I just got too much left to do, and so it won't get done. So I figured I said I want to be consistent and get a video out each month. So I just need to buy myself a little more time, and hence why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because it needs to be done, but why I'm actually turning this into a video. You know, you got to make it work for you, right? You gotta be efficient with your time. Since I had to do this and I needed to put together a video, I'm going to combine the two. The problem with having so many hobbies, and let's face it, the SCA is a hobby of hobbies. But the problem is, you just get too much stuff because you need stuff for anything you do. And so it's just a lot of stuff. I don't know. Do you struggle with that? Because I sure do. This can go in here too. But like as far as content goes, I really don't know how people do it. I don't know how some of these creators are able to put out so many videos. And make videos, because not only does it take a while to make, but then you have to edit it. And the editing takes forever. Well, one of my problems is I overcomplicate everything, including especially editing. So that's one of my problems. So it could take less time if I allowed myself to not be as much of a perfectionist, I guess, but I can't help it, especially when it comes to editing. I actually have fun editing, but sometimes I will get overwhelmed, or I don't want to do it because I am in that state of perfection, and it stops me from doing it. So either that, or I end up staying up all night doing it because I get into a groove. Anyways, I just have a really hard time being able to do that much content, to be able to make one thing after another. And I think part of it is because I enjoy the slow process of it. I enjoy taking my time and doing things, figuring things out. And if I get stuck, I need a little time and space to figure them out. And part of that is because at my job, I'm sewing all day long, and I'm constantly having to sew quickly. So it's nice. I can just take my time at home. I can sew by hand. I can enjoy the process. Whereas if I try to do all these different make videos, it ends up just taking up so much time, and then I have to do the edit on top of it. And it just isn't sustainable for me, and being able to work a full-time job at the same time. But I do like doing tutorials. You know, I've learned a lot over the years, and one of the things is people have shared these things with me. And so I just love the idea of being able to pass that on. The things I learned, I was so blessed to have people that took the time to teach them to me. Or like people that when I first started doing this, when I first started doing historical clothing, I would find all sorts of stuff online. And there wasn't much when I first started, but what was there was great. And so this is kind of my way of repaying that because it was so helpful to me. But one of the things I was thinking is I really need to figure out a way to be more sustainable in being able to consistently, and I want to be consistently put out content. One of the things I was thinking is, I do a big video like once every other month. And then in between I can do little small projects like this, or I'm going to an event. It's a medieval event that is very, very immersive. Just need to make sure to have a good kit for that. So I've been working on that, and I have a few things that I still am trying that I still want to get made. Like I'm going to be doing some hair pieces. I'm experimenting with collecting yeast to make bread with, and so I have like little things I'm doing that might be useful to people to see. Might not be, but we'll give it a shot. If you like it, watch it. If you don't, don't. I want to do a little bit more about my research process because lately I've noticed, I don't know, have you noticed this? That used to be, it was hard to find because there wasn't much, but once you found it, it was really good. Most of it, like 90% of it was really good. But I feel like it used to be a lot easier to find information and to find research than it is now. And I think part of it is because so much of it, when you do a Google search, so much of it is sales, which is great. You know me, I'm all about the small business, but when it's just that's all there is and there's no good research or it's all buried, it's frustrating. I'm finding it very frustrating. It's hard these days. So I was thinking about doing something more like that too, just little informal videos where I'm doing my research and I just kind of talk through what I'm doing. You know what? I'm tired and I think I'm done. I'm mentally done with this, so I'm gonna do the labeling later. I want to find ways of putting out content that I can do quickly, but is still useful to you. So if you can think of anything that you would like to see me do, let me know. I really wish I could have a more aesthetic table. Something I'm working on. But I'm afraid I'd ruin it too, because I am not gentle on things, I do so many other things besides sewing, so somehow I would ruin the beautiful wood or something, I am no Bernadette Benner. It's kitten approved, it looks like. Storm, do you approve? Do I get a gold star for the day? All right. Yay, we did it. It's done. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I did this. And I hope I didn't bore you too much. But now I'm going to get back to editing that lining video. So keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you then.